Alright, I'm going to pick up where I left off in Venti's Archon quest, Paralogism. And speaking of which, Venti, as I suspected, is the one at Star Snatch Cliff. Ah, traveler, Paimon. I could hear your arrival upon the wind. Were you looking for me?
Venti, did you send us that message?
No, I did.
Huh?
Whoa, where did you come from? Wait, Venti, do you know this guy? His name is, what is his name again?
Didn't think I was that unmemorable. I'm Dahlia, Deacon of the Church of Favonius, and Herald of the Animo Archon Barbados. Not gonna forget next time, right?
So, you called us here so we could meet with Venti.
That's right. I noticed you during the trial. The legendary honorary knight. You seem to have a lot of thoughts on your minds, so I thought we should have a chat. After all, I am the Herald of Barbados. If the people of Mondstadt are in danger, I should keep the Animo Archon in the loop.
Wait then, you know about...
About what? The fact that my tavern-hopping nomad of a friend is Barbados himself?
Don't worry, Dahlia and I are close. He knows everything. Besides, a god needs someone to communicate their will in a formal setting, and no one does that better than Dahlia.
Not that I saw that coming when we first met. But back to the matter at hand. I believe you two already know about Albedo's background.
If you mean his true identity, then yeah, we do.
So, you know too, Venti? That's surprisingly Archon-like of you.
Well, I knew from the moment Rhindaughter and Alice brought Albedo to Mondstadt. When those two are in town, no one can afford to slack off. The Critic Prince, whatever, I can't say that name, a perfect specimen of synthetic life. At this stage of the case, there are countless questions surrounding Albedo's motives. His true identity is a potential weakness.
A synthetic being loses control of their sanity and goes on a killing spree. That's how a novel would frame the story, and people are inclined to agree.
Albedo has told us before that humans often value the ordinary over the transcendent and miraculous.
And the slightest difference is perceived as other. A very common phenomenon.
Which means we need to find a way to help your friend. What do you know about the situation, Venti? Me? Well, I know that Albedo is a synthetic being and that a lot of strange things have been happening in Mondstadt, even though Windbloom should be about drinking and having fun.
We noticed that too! The minute we got here, something was off.
Explanations.
I've picked up on most of those too. Miles is out of sorts. Beatrice seems anxious. Although I didn't know Donna stopped being interested in Master Diluc.
When no love remains for the songs to tell, the world becomes naught but an empty shell. Cruel is said fate, cruel it may be, were it not for Hugh who could set us all free.
What are you getting at, Tone Deaf Bard?
Oh, just making a comment. There are always unavoidable trials in life. At least that's what Barbados would say. A certain someone is going to need to overcome a trial like that. In such cases, even the Seven know better than to tamper with fate. If only there was a brave soul willing to aid their friend in his time of need. Should he meet a terrible fate, all of Mondstadt could be worse for it.
If you wanted our help, you could have just asked, you know.
Well, even if Albedo wasn't at the center of this case, protecting Mondstadt is part of being an honorary knight, right? You'll still have help, of course, which is why I prepared a little surprise. Behold!
Ooh, Paimon remembers that Jumpy Dumpty.
Don't worry, I removed the fuse, so it's not going to explode. Say hello to the Dodo communication device.
So, this thing belongs to you now?
We're old pals. Don't think she'd care if I borrowed it for a few days. Anyway, this invention, with a little help from a trick of mine, will allow us to keep in touch. Just take it out. Just take it out and we can chat. We'll do our best to uncover the truth. That's all I ask. No matter what comes, you have the wind on your side. Doot, 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 doot. Pew, boom. And now it wants me to re-enter. Even though I technically never left. I know you all must be shocked, but the evidence is solid. Albedo's situation is not looking good.
I still don't believe Albedo would do something like that. Using living people as alchemical test subjects? It's like something out of a novel.
Perhaps it's best for me to remain impartial, but I've worked with Albedo before. He's an alchemist, not a sadist.
This version of events is as hard for me to accept as anyone, but Varka once said Albedo is very different from the rest of us. Perhaps there are things we still need to learn about him. Let's see what Albedo has to say for himself first. Would you mind giving me a moment, everyone? A private matter requires my attention.
Hey, Jean!
Traveler, Paimon, perfect timing. Kaya has a favor to ask. Like Jean said after the verdict, we have time to submit an appeal, and I will do my utmost to convince Albedo to accept. He's been acting strange, and I can't read him for the life of me. But I need you two to start investigating the case. Investigate the case? Yes, it's also time for you to get involved. Do you want us to join the joint investigation? No. We'd like you to launch an investigation of your own. I'll continue working on his defense in the meantime. If you find anything that might help his case, just let me know. I know it's against the spirit of the season to task you with this, but Albedo is a trusted member of our ranks. We owe him the benefit of the doubt. Understood. I'll look into the case on my own. I know you'll get to the bottom of this, Traveler. You've never failed us in our time of need.
But what if the accusations turn out to be true?
Then you will have done Mondstadt a great service all the same. I am expecting a retrial. Until then, you're welcome to have a look around Albedo's office on the second floor. I'm counting on you. Ooh, do I finally get to enter someplace upstairs? I don't think you could enter someplace upstairs before. This one. Don't give me shit.
Wait, Captain Kaya! Surely I can't just...
These two are here on Jean's orders. She asked them to investigate Albedo's office.
Oh, in that case, head on in.
Nobody questions it when the ordinary knight gets an order from Jean. Period.
So this is Albedo's office. Pretty much exactly how Paimon pictured it.
All right, I have some work of my own, so I'll leave you to it. Good luck, you two.
Right back at ya.
Okay. Investigate.
Alright, let's see what we can find.
Investigate the book. There's a stack of books on the desk, mostly relating to alchemy, environmental science, and life science. Some of the pages have been marked with alchemical symbols, and others have S-shaped or triangular symbols drawn on them. Any potential meaning is unclear.
Wow, these books are so fancy. Albedo must have gone to great lengths to get them.
Investigate underneath the book. After moving the book, the desk looks almost empty. Your hand slipped while moving the book, causing the hardcover book to strike the desk. The resulting noise is a bit unusual. It's subtle, but to an experienced adventurer, it sounds too hollow, almost like there's a compartment within the desk. investigate underneath the desk.
Wait, it looks like there's a hidden compartment under the desk.
There does appear to be a compartment added on to one side of the desk. It was very well hidden. The lock mechanism is complex and seems to involve elemental power in some way. Perhaps you could try using the power of Geo. I don't have any Geo characters currently on me. Oh, it just does automatically. Okay. The hidden compartment opens. Inside lies a piece of paper with more information. Investigate the paper. Festering is also a manifestation of rot. When festering forces a sufficient amount of life energy collide, the two will repel each other, triggering a powerful side effect. When I tested this in an alchemical experiment, the result of the refinement was startling. Breaking through the shackles of life, the simulation of the blank project, I must take advantage of this opportunity.
The name of the project is blotted out in ink. What could it be?
The note mentioned festering forces, which suggests that Dragonspine could be involved somehow. If this has something to do with creating synthetic life, would Albedo go that far for one of his experiments? No, that can't be. Amidst the notes is a map with a few markings on it. Two of the marked locations correspond to the crime scenes, and the third appears to be in Dragonspine. It's a hard pill to swallow, but if the results of the joint investigation are correct, there could be a body hidden in the last location. Or, at the very least, the remains of one.
Huh. What does this mean? Oh, do you think something might also be buried at the last location? Alright, that seems to be it for this place. We should go tell Jean what we found.
Was that all to investigate? Really? Dodo, Dodo, Dodoko.
Oh, Vent is calling. Let's answer.
How's the investigation going? Find anything?
Oh, we found stuff alright. Stuff that only makes Albedo look even more suspicious.
I see. So Albedo's researching something that doesn't help his case. Huh. Explanations. Not promising. We should be grateful Albedo's Trinzi remains hidden. If it gets out that he's one of Rhindaughter's creations, there'd be no separating him from her past. As we both know, Rhindaughter's approach to alchemy and ethics was pure madness, and the evidence you just found, let's just say, could convince even those closest to him of his guilt. Perhaps even you. I don't think the handwriting was faked, and the notes also sounded like him. Then it comes down to trust. Do you trust Albedo? I absolutely do.
Yeah, he's our friend. We should keep the faith. And if he really is the culprit, he must have had a reason, right? Maybe he's just not allowed to talk about it. Yeah, that must be it.
Either way, a fair investigation means coming to a conclusion presented by the facts. Does that mean even Venti no longer believes in him? Remaining objective has its own value. Remember, none of this is your fault. Just report back with an honest assessment of the facts.
Yeah. Well, let's go find Jean and tell her what we learned. Wait, that's Miles. What's he doing here?
Oh, sorry. I heard voices and wasn't sure if I should check who was inside.
It's okay. We're here on Jean's orders.
Ah, I see. I'll, leave you to it then.
Hold on. You didn't hear what we were saying, did you?
Oh, not really. Nothing that made sense anyway.
Well, do us a favor and just forget anything you might have heard, okay?
Oh, sure. You got it.
That map we found in the hidden compartment seems important. We should check out the marked locations.
Okay. So we're just checking out the dragon spine one. Okay. Oh, here we go.
We should be getting close.
Although everything is covered in snow, as a seasoned adventurer, you notice a spot on the ground that looks quite different from its surroundings. You remove the snow and find a sizable hole underneath, large enough to fit a human body. But the hole is completely empty, and the surrounding markings make it look like something was dug up. Did an animal do this? Or some monster?
Weird. There's a hole, but no body. The prosecution's argument is that Albedo used alchemy to destroy the bodies, but this location is different from the other two. Why not fill the hole, or smooth out the ground like the other places?
If one person did all this, why not remove the traces like the others? And if Albedo isn't the one responsible, why was this location marked in his notes? You're back. Did you find anything?
Yeah, but none of it helps Albedo's case.
Explanations. I see. A complicated result, but your efforts are appreciated. Did Albedo submit an appeal? Yes, he asked for a retrial. There are still questions surrounding the identities of the victims and the disappearance of the bodies. The minimal remains that were uncovered have been sent for forensic analysis, which should provide some answers. It's just...
What's wrong?
If the victims turn out to be Mondstadt citizens, the situation becomes all the more serious. The second trial would likely have to be opened to the public. And I doubt public sentiment will be in Albedo's favor.
Yeah, not when the charges are so serious. Hmm.
The second trial is set to take place in 2 days. I hope you consider attending this one as well.
Of course, we'll be there. In the meantime, we should all just stay positive.
Well said. When the time comes, I'll carry out my duty to the best of my ability. Miles? Okay, I think this is actually a good spot to leave off on this. So that's going to be the end of this segment for Paralogism, and I'll see you guys next time.